The state is requesting that the father pays a total of $2,070 per month for child support.
That's where I would disagree. There's been no material change, substantial change in my circumstances. I'm at the same job in the same position.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
This appears to be a non-agreed CSRP. I believe the issue particularly is the issue relating to child support. It is my understanding that the parties agree for the father to carry the medical support and dental support through his employer. However, there is again a disagreement as it relates to the child support, so the state is requesting to take testimony specifically on that issue. So at this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the mother here in this matter. This case is in reference to two children between you and the other party to this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you had a prior order entitled the Agreed Order in Suit to Modify the Parent-Child Relationship, which was signed on March 23rd, 2020. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we are here today in reference to another modification because it's been 3 years since the last order. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that there has been a change in the non-custodial parent's employment as it relates to his income?
Yes.
Based off of the non-custodial parent's gross income, monthly income at $16,666.67, the state is requesting that the father pays a total of $2,070 per month for child support beginning on December 1st, 2023. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes.
And do you find this will be in your children's best interest?
Yes.
And just to confirm, you are in agreement to the father carrying the medical and dental support through his employer for the children, is that correct?
Yes.
Nothing further from this party, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the father here in this matter. Sir, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Gregory Keithley.
And sir, today we are here in reference to a non-agreed CSRP in which the state has requested that you pay a total of $2,070 per month based off your gross income of $16,666.67 monthly. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
The income amount or the child support amount?
The child support amount, sir.
Oh, no, that's where I would disagree.
And sir, just to confirm, the OAG's use of the income at $16,666.67 as your gross monthly income, are you in agreement to that?
That sounds accurate.
Is there any specific reason why you're not in agreement to the child support based off of your income, sir?
Yeah, so my position is when we sat down in 2020 with our attorneys, beginning of 2020, and went through mediation, and we landed on a non-guideline order, which is what we've been operating on in the last 3+ years. We reached a number as well as some other arrangements that again were not guideline, and at the time, both my employment and my financial situation really hasn't changed. There's been no material change, substantial change in my circumstances. I'm at the same job in the same position, doing the exact same thing. I've gotten no, promotions or big pay increases, just the kind of the year-over-year cost of living adjustments. And so I've also prepared some financial statements if we need to kind of take a look at that. I don't know the best way to do that. But my position is that there's been no material change in my circumstances since we first signed that order in 2020.
And sir, just confirm that order was drafted and signed over 3 years ago. Is that correct?
March 2020, correct.
And sir, the child support in the prior order is actually appears more than there would be a more than $100 difference between this order and the last order in reference to your child support. Is that correct?
Based on the numbers that were discussed, then yes.
No further questions from this party, Your Honor. Again, the state is requesting that child support be set based off of the non-custodial parent's income at $2,070 beginning December 1st, 2023, and that the father be ordered to continue to carry the health and dental through his employer.
Mr. Tatum, did y'all use the chart to look at maximum amounts?
I believe that is correct, Your Honor. He does max out at that amount.
It should be what maxed out at 12,250. It looks like the according to the tax chart, the maximum is 13,350. I don't think our chart goes that far of gross income, which would have a net income of $9,951.
Should be 25%. Just confirming.
20. Sorry, I have another dependent, another kid, so I think it bumps it down to 22.5 or 23, somewhere in there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, 22.5 then. Okay, well, I guess I thought that was going to save you money, but I guess it doesn't save you money. It's pretty much the same number. It's a little higher actually, but okay. So I understand you had an agreement 3 years ago and y'all had agreed to a number for child support. It has been 3 years now, however. Was there something you were doing above and beyond the court order that was unusual for for you to have set the support at a lower amount, Mr. Keithley?
As far as like from a financial standpoint, or
Well, okay, sometimes people agree to lower child support for a different variety of reasons. Number one reason might be because they want to save on legal fees and not to fight anymore and just agree to a number and move on. I don't know. That was one of the reasons. It could be that you're doing above and beyond visitation than a normal person would have, which a normal person would have every other weekend and maybe 1 day a week, that kind of thing. Some people might have where that the obligor pays for outside fees that are not a part of the court order, like if the child's in a competitive sports team, maybe that costs $3,000 or something like that. Maybe that's something you're doing. I don't know what the reasoning was. I really can't go into, I guess, can't go too deep into the reasoning as to why it was set at 1,200. I don't know. I mean, that's something you know. Are you doing any of those extra things that would be a reason why it should it should stay at the same number?
as far as like the possession goes, I mean, it is kind of it's a modified possession schedule. So we kind of landed on an agreement that I think made sense for our schedules, but still kept it somewhat in the same ballpark. I'd have to like break it down. Like for instance, I'll get them 42 days in the summer, every spring break. We still do the first, third, and fifth weekends, alternating major holidays. I think it would get them every Memorial Day weekend, that sort of a thing. So we did do kind of a modified possession schedule. Again, I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but then as far as kind of a financial standpoint, I mean, yeah, there's here and there, things additional expenses that'll pop up that, I'll cover and not seek reimbursement. Like an example is our oldest is in dance. The last few times she needed new dance shoes, I got her new dance shoes. They're a couple $100 each time, things like that. Or like an urgent care visit where technically we're supposed to split the medical, where I'll just cover that because it's a copay, things like that. I don't have like a better answer or more full picture, I guess, for your question, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, those sound just like normal everyday kind of things. I'm talking about I'm talking about like significant expenses, like several $1,000s you paid for dance, maybe, or several $1,000s you paid for a medical bill. I mean, if it's that y'all didn't split a copay and it was $50, that's not really
Right.
substantial payment. I'm trying to, and if you're doing the schedule that was in the order that y'all agreed to, then that's not really varying from the order.
Right.
It sounds like you're just kind of doing it almost a standard visitation order, but you kind of modified it or customized it, I guess, for certain holidays kinds of thing. Is kind of summarize what you think you're doing?
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. And as far as like anything substantial above and beyond, not really. I mean, we split all the medical, dental costs and whatnot, and then of course just what I'm paying now in child support. But yeah, nothing like substantial. I think that would be notable.
Well, I understand your position, Mr. Keithley. If we were here within less than 3 years, then I would have to side with you and say that we can't increase it. But being that it's been over 3 years, I have to follow the law and modify the order. So I'm going to confirm the CSRP they proposed at the numbers that they proposed in the proposed order, and then you're going to carry insurance. This at least kind of locks in that we're not going to increase or decrease again for another 3 years, unless there's something some substantial change. You have the right to appeal my decision within 7 days, or through a different appeal, maybe 30 days. But outside of that, I have to follow the court order. I don't know that a judge would do anything different if you appealed it, but you do have that opportunity. But that's kind of, I have to follow the law. Unfortunately, there's not really much there for me to hang my hat on to say that it should be different than the calculated amount.
I understand.
The Attorney General's office will send me the order to sign. They'll need some time to process that. I don't remember what the start date was.
Number 1, yeah.
December 1. Okay, good. Okay, so that won't put you behind because the new change won't be until next month. So that should be okay. As far as you maybe being behind. All right. Okay. All right. That'll conclude our case. They will email you a copy of the order. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.